Hi, I'm Erik Linask in the TMC newsroom, coming to you from San Jose, California this week. And I'm talking with the VP of Marketing at Talari Networks, Keith Morris. Keith, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having us back.
So it was about a year ago this time that we chatted last, out here in San Jose, in fact. For our viewers, how about a quick refresher on what Talari does?
Well, sure. So Talari is about bringing internet economics to wide area networks. And we do that with a solution called WAN virtualization. Let me explain a bit about what that is. So basically today, people are paying anywhere from $300 to $700 per megabit per month for private WAN connections. So this is to connect from remote offices back to data centers. And the reason people or companies are paying so much money for that is because they need reliability. So they need 4 nines reliability to connect back to those data centers. And that's becoming even more true as people do more and more server centralization and put more and more IT resources at a central location. Now, you compare that with how much people are paying for internet, which is anywhere from single-digit dollars per megabit to low double-digit dollars per megabit. And there's this huge price difference, 30 to 100 times different between the two different technologies. And basically what Talari does is it takes that internet bandwidth and makes it reliable enough for businesses to use. And that's kind of basically our basic value proposition. So we allow people to buy 10 or 30 to 100 times more bandwidth per dollar, which results in WAN savings ongoing from 40 to 90%. And you end up at the end of the day with a more resilient and reliable network than any single vendor MPLS network.
Tell me a little bit about what's happened at Talari, say over since we last talked about over the last 6 months.
Well, wow, it's halfway through the year already, and so we entered the year. We introduced a new product. So we introduced something called the T750. This was really filled out our product portfolio. We needed a product that fitted for kind of mid-sized companies with up to maybe 25 remote sites, and also that's applicable to companies that have geographical data centers where they want to aggregate traffic from a number of remotes into a geographic region before they bring it back to HQ. So that was introduced at the beginning of the year. We got some great press around that, and that led to us being named a Gartner Cool Vendor. So that was really great news. And then on the back of that, we actually won a Best of Interop award. So lots of things been happening, and it's kind of really helped us kind of pick up the momentum at the company. So we're just coming off a really great Q2, and we see a lot of business in Q3 and set up for Q4.
Well, congratulations.
So, thank you.
So, there seems to be a lot more momentum in the WAN optimization space. Where do you see Talari positioned within the market?
So we're kind of distinct from WAN optimization, but we are complementary. So WAN optimization is all about how do you squeeze the most out of very scarce, expensive bandwidth. Like you're paying $700 a month for a T1, you want to make the most of that. Whereas our approach is about, well, there's plenty of inexpensive bandwidth out there. Is how do you make it reliable enough for businesses to use? So when you take that into account, actually we're very complementary technologies. So kind of WAN optimization frees up bandwidth and solves some really tricky application problems in terms of latency. We free up bandwidth and basically make the network highly reliable and resilient such that everything works well all of the time.
What are some of the major trends in the industry today that are impacting your business?
Well, obviously there's a huge amount of buzz around cloud computing, right? So
Sure.
it's a big buzzword, but what we see on the ground with our customers is just they're trying to do server centralization, they're really working on the private clouds, bringing more and more services into the data center. So what does that lead to? Really, people are looking for more bandwidth, so people can always use more bandwidth. Applications generally run better with more bandwidth. But they're also looking to upgrade the network so it can actually carry some of these new services that they're trying to centralize. So, for example, if you're trying to do VDI, voice over IP and video, now it's becoming much more critical in terms of how resilient the network is. It used to be you could get away with a primary circuit, and maybe if you had the money, you'd have a backup private WAN circuit, another backup private MPLS circuit, or you might have an IPsec VPN, which works kind of great in the data world where if it fails over and it takes 10, 20, 30 seconds, it's not such a big deal. But now when you're starting to get these more interactive and real-time applications going over the WAN, then that will actually could bring the application down and then everything would have to restart. So people are much more conscious of outages now, and that's kind of been a big thing for us as well.
So you're right, cloud is absolutely one of the huge buzzwords right now. As cloud adoption and businesses leveraging the cloud model continue to grow, does that make it easier or make it more difficult, your business?
Oh, I think it's great. I think the business is coming to, and I'll tell you why. Because, well, cloud computing just writ large is making it more and more efficient to centralize resources, which means that people need highly scalable, low, inexpensive WANs, which is good for us. And then I think there's going to be a period of time where people are going to want to be mixing their own private cloud with, maybe they want to outsource a piece of the cloud. So that positions us in a great position, because now, we have a camp or a foot in both camps. So we can leverage private WAN bandwidth. We're also leveraging a lot of internet bandwidth. So you can envision if somebody pops one of our boxes, for example, at a co-location facility, they get reliable, scalable internet connectivity to the core of the internet, which means if you're at the core of the internet, it's likely that the service you're trying to access could be in the same co-location facility, or it could just be one hop away across the internet. So we think cloud is good, and really, it doesn't matter what mix of cloud you need. I mean, if you're doing completely private clouds, then we're just a great solution for making this highly scalable WAN. And if you're thinking about public clouds, then we're a great way to position you for the future to take advantage of those and get easy connectivity to those kind of resources.
You talked a little bit about the past 6 months. What do you see coming up in the next 6 to 12 months for Talari?
So I think for a company, it's kind of, we're in the growth phase. So for us, it's kind of doing the blocking and tackling, getting the next set of customers, next set of reference customers, and leveraging those into the next customer. So we see going forward, we're seeing large customer deployments, shorter sales cycles, those kinds of things. That's what's starting to happen for us now.
Excellent. We've been talking here in the TMC newsroom with Keith Morris from Talari Networks. Keith, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Cheers.